Hey friends, this is Amanda Nardozzi. Thanks for hopping into my little den here. We're keeping it warm. We're keeping it cozy. Today's reading, we're going to be channeling a message from Archangel Raphael. So we're going to be connecting with that frequency. We're going to be starting with a meditation first, then we're going to dive right in. I know that some of you, if you follow my new moon, full moon readings for the zodiac signs, I believe it was Cancer. I think that was a sign I was on. For whatever reason, this idea came to me when I was channeling through Cancer, and I was like, oh my gosh. So there are like 3 different archangels that I'm going to be connecting with. This video is completely dedicated to Archangel Raphael. We have Archangel Orion and Archangel Azrael coming up. But for now, we're going to focus on Archangel Raphael. And if you see little ginger head poking up here, we have Milo here, my little corgi. He's wanting attention. He thinks I'm in the sunroom for him, which clearly I am. Yes, I am. Just to give you love and affections. Yes, sir. He also likes to bark at things, so we'll try to distract him as much as we can so we can just stick to the message. That being said, I'm going to guide you through a meditation, and that's going to benefit me as well to help get me a little bit more in the zone. So wherever you're at, wherever you find yourself, just taking a nice, slow, deep breath through your nose, then out your mouth. And then just taking notice, doing a body scan from head to toe, noticing where in your body there is tension. To do this, you can feel free to close your eyes, or you can find your drishti. You can focus as like a focal point. You can zone in on a particular point if that feels more comfortable to you. Just to turn your awareness to your body, because that's the most important part. And then starting from the crown of your head, start scaling down your body and breathing into those spaces that you feel clouds or that feel heavy, or you might feel pain in some of those areas, maybe a creakiness, maybe a tightness. You want to breathe into those spaces and then just release it with an exhale. It could be through your nose, it could be through your mouth. Just make sure it's a nice and slow exhale. Keep going with this process of slow breathing as you work your way down your body at your own pace. Feel free to pause the video if you need. Breathing into these spaces and then just letting it go. Think about any places in your energy too where you feel like you're holding on to energy from others. If you have somebody's situation weighing on the heart, weighing on the mind, if you notice a different area in the body where you feel that energy stored, don't think too much about it. It could be in a silly place like your hand or your shoulder. It could be in a place like your knees, your belly. The belly is often where we hold anxiety, so I find myself breathing into that space a lot. And even if you have to put your hands on your belly to feel the energy come in and expand, and then feel the energy let go. And once you do a body scan from head to toe, imagine roots coming out of your feet and then digging into the earth and then growing further and further towards the core. They're strong roots. They're healthy roots. They keep you connected to heaven, yet rooted here in your present reality. And what we're going to do next is we're going to imagine a light shining in our heart space, glowing bright. This is that spark of the divine within us all. And then we're going to imagine it connecting through all of our chakras, from our root to the base of our spine, all the way up, connecting through that divine spark in the heart, up through the crown of our head, straight into heaven, where there are other divine lights. Whatever light you imagine it as, imagine another golden light coming at you. I imagine this one with wings, since we're connecting with Archangel Raphael. Ask him to come to you, to come close to your energy. And thank him for his presence. And ask him, thank you. Say, thank you for telling me what I need to know right now. And I will thank Archangel Raphael for coming to me and for gracing us with his presence in this collective reading, for helping us move forward with our physical and emotional burdens. Thank you for helping us heal our emotional, our physical, our spiritual bodies. And thank you for helping us connect to a space of unconditional love as we walk on this healing path together. Thank you, Archangel Raphael, for helping me connect to the collective message as I try to deliver what it is they need to hear right now. Okay. Take another deep breath. This is where you can pause the video, be in this energy for as long as you need. I will start channeling. So, he's showing me this monster, this tiny little, I don't know if you've played Neopets, but it kind of reminds me of this tiny little Jub Jub. Looks like a little pom-pom monster, but to me it's a symbol of this tiny little doubt, this tiny little fear. And it feels like, with lack of attention, it grows bigger and bigger. Even if you know it's there and you focus on it, you know that this fear has been present for a while. Something that you're not quite sure what to do about. Something that festers and grows with the changing tides. So when things seem like they're getting a little rough, it grows and it kind of doubles in size, and then it gets in your face and makes you believe that it's twice the size as it actually is. You're showing me a mirror, like a car mirror. They say objects in the mirror may appear closer than they actually are. I can't remember the actual, I never read that thing. Objects in the mirror may be closer than they appear, as I believe what the message is. But I see it being like the reverse almost. It's almost like we are bigger than what we actually seem. And Archangel Raphael wants to talk about these fears in particular. They could be holding you back. I see vines holding you back, like vines from the earth, kind of. But it's almost like vines of your own making, vines that you've grown from these fears. It's almost like, I'm going to protect myself from these fears by growing these particular subspecies of vines. But these subspecies of vines are an invasive type that might have served a purpose at one point, but now they're getting out of control. They're clinging to you. They're keeping you held back. And he's saying I actually need to bleed out, which is interesting. That's a very strong phrasing. Very rarely, that seems kind of archaic, because I know oftentimes in old medicine that's what we would say is, you need to let it bleed out, bleed the disease out, and then you'll be better. But obviously that's not what medicine is today. That was never true. That was not, I'm sure the divine worked with what they had to at the time, but that's not, like, modern medicine has proven that to be not effective in the slightest. So, Specifically, what Archangel Raphael is saying, though, because it's more of a symbol for me, is that, needing to let that energy bleed out. And sometimes, in order to release the fears, in order to become a whole new version of ourselves, we need to completely be rid of everything that once was before, the good, the bad, the ugly. And unfortunately, sometimes this means losing everything. This isn't a sign that you're going to lose everything. You know if this message is for you, if this resonates with you in this current moment. But needing to drop everything. For some of you, it's a facade. For some of you, you've spent so long wearing a mask around other people, but now that mask is becoming you, and you need to step away from that. It's almost like you need to bleed it out. You need to burn it. You need to get rid of For some of you, this might be pulling away from an old life that you had. This might mean stepping away from past connections that enforce that mask of yours. This might mean stepping away from, this might mean finding oh my gosh, I know for some of us we stick in our careers, but I feel like for some of you, I'm also talking to people who jump from job to job, and it's like maybe you just need a new job for a little bit because it's enforcing the mask that you had. But whatever you need to do to step back and move away from this old life of yours, it's something like these fears, these things, that you need to release the good, the bad, and the ugly with it, and it needs to bleed out. Sometimes that means losing the good blood with it. Sometimes we need to let go of parts of ourselves, or we need to let go of parts of our lives that, things that we enjoy, the nostalgia I'm hearing. So sometimes things, when we indulge in something, it brings nostalgia to us. But we need to let go of those things in order to get rid of the one thing that we know is holding us back. Because Archangel Raphael is saying it's your time to shine. Like, it is time for you to step out into the light and shine brighter than you've ever been. There's a sorry in here. There's a sorry for your pain. There's a sorry for your loss. Your angels want you to know that they're with you and helping you heal at this time. They're sending you healing vibrations, healing energy to help you cope with the loss that you feel like you're going to have to undergo for a while. For the loss that you have to endure, specifically, is what they're saying. But Spirit says something new is being made, and this is to be seen as a gift. They're giving me a box, and they're actually showing me they're wrapping up this gift as we speak. So I'm seeing the ribbons go on, and I'm seeing the bow being tied on. So whatever is coming or whatever is in the process is a gift from the divine. You might not be able to see it yet because you haven't been given the gift to unwrap. But Spirit says it is meant to unwrap slowly. He says that it's going to be unwrapped slowly over time. It's not something you'll be able to see immediately from opening it up, but it slowly unravels. And you'll know something is not off, but you'll know something has been given to you because it's going to be through divine synchronicity. There's going to be like a tiny little light bulb that goes off in your brain, and that's your intuition that says there's something here. There's an opportunity here. It's almost like you're getting more in touch with your intuition, and it's often, I find, that when we lose things, when we're in that darkness of loss, that Spirit comes through the strongest to let us know that we're not alone, and that we're supported, and that we're loved, and that we're being guided. But I do feel like Archangel Raphael, like, he's coming through with a very nourishing energy of, this is your path, you are meant to be here, stay on it. So despite this loss you have to endure, he's asking for your trust. He's asking for your trust that this gift will be given, that, it seems like your capability of unwrapping, like, it's going to be slow. You're not going to know everything about what's inside. You're not going to know the blessing immediately, and that's okay. It's just going to slowly reveal itself to you over time, but you're going to be curious. It's going to be given to you, and you're going to be curious. You're going to say, what's this? Your intuition is going to tell you there's something here, and then you're slowly going to pull the ribbon, and you're going to move it aside, and it's just a slow, methodical feeling of going through and thinking, like, it's almost like you're cherishing it. Like, your soul is like, I love this gift that I'm given, and I want to experience the magic of hope. I want to experience the magic of my hope slowly growing again. And that's almost something that your soul is craving, because it's something that maybe you've lacked in your life, is that feeling of hope, the feeling that things actually work out for you, because sometimes loss comes to us very suddenly. Sometimes things, Spirit says everything happens for a reason, but sometimes loss comes at us and things happen at a lightning pace. And sometimes we lose so much so often that we forget that hope is the main deal that we're working with in life. That hope, that having faith, that those things are very strong. And Archangel Raphael is saying those things are very present, those things are very strong, but he's still pushing this gift towards you, this gift of healing, this gift of life, I'm hearing, this gift of life. So either some of you are getting pregnant or looking to conceive a new life and have hope towards that, or it's the feeling of you becoming like a new life, like you are stepping out of this old life and into a new life. Yeah, some of you, it's a baby. Like, I don't typically read for pregnancy or health or anything. If some of you are trying to get a baby, there's that too. But because I see them wrapping it up, kind of like how a stork would wrap up a baby in like cloth and then just carry it to someone's door. That's kind of what Archangel Raphael is doing with this gift. And Archangel Raphael works very closely, like I said, with the emotional body, with that healing energy, but also with the physical body as well. And a lot of depictions of Archangel Raphael, he carries that healing staff. I do believe that the origins are Greek mythology, or even well before that, but that healing staff that you often find on ambulances, that is the healing staff that Archangel Raphael is often depicted as. It's used in ambulances and hospitals and stuff. Like, the gift of healing is what he carries. And I'm trying to see if there's anything else collectively that we can get into with Archangel Raphael. What else would you like to share? Okay. Some of you, he's connecting me with the pets now. He's connecting me with healing in relation to pets. This could be pets past, pets that were ill and now healing. Okay, I'm seeing a parrot, specifically like a parrot for some of you. I do see a dog, but I also have Milo sitting here in my lap. Animals are very healing in itself, but he's showing me a broken wing to a parrot and having it fixed, but it almost kind of like looks a little droopy, kind of like a bat's wing. Like, I'm not sure if the parrot has this mock wing and like he has to live with this mock wing from now on, as like a prosthetic, which is interesting because Milo had surgery as well. He had surgery on his one leg multiple times. So I guess if you were brought to this message, then it's specifically they're using a parrot though, so which is interesting. So some of you might have animals with prosthetics, or some of you might have had an animal with a sickness that is now healing from it. And then they're not quite fully healed. They're not quite fully the same. Just being there, being that unconditional loving support for them is what they need right now. I sense some worry on that end. There's like a feeling of trepidation. There's a feeling of trepidation for like your pet's future. Like, maybe their life has significantly shortened because of something that you've discovered medically. But Spirit's saying, I see Archangel Raphael kind of nudging, like they're sending healing energy to the situation. This was written. It was not your fault. There was nothing you could have done to prevent it. This is the path that this pet was meant to go on in this life. This was the path that this animal chose before coming here. They chose you as a person to be with them because they knew that you would give them the loving support that they needed. And you are fulfilling your role just by being present. That alone will help your pet immensely, because pets do feel a great portion of our unconditional love. Like they feel all of our unconditional love. They are beings of unconditional love themselves. In my studies of Reiki and my studies of mediumship, typically what people say and what I've read is that pets have already mastered unconditional love, and they are here to help teach us. And all of our lessons that we are given, and lessons towards learning unconditional love, that is what pets are here to help us learn. And I'm hearing from your pet, I will be right by your side. I will be right by your side. I won't abandon you. I love you. I will be right by your side. So even in their passing too, I feel them right by your side. So Archangel Raphael is saying that, you know, their job doesn't end when they're with you. Like when they're with you and then when they pass, their job doesn't end. They are still helping you from the other side. And some of you still need to heal from the loss of a pet, and some of you still need to heal from supporting your pet, because it is like when your pet is going through something, they can't communicate like people can. So it's hard to assess what they need, and then there's extra pressure to, you know, get them to a vet or give them the care that they need, or make sure that we're making the right decisions for their care. And it's almost like this pet was recognizing. It's interesting when it's turned into like a mediumship or psychic reading. Your pet is recognizing if you lost a pet, or even if like your pet is still here, it's almost like their higher self is here. I just feel an animal here saying, you know, okay, so yeah, some of you just straight up lost a pet and they're here. For some of you it's a parrot, but I'm also getting for some of you that it's a dog, but they're saying you've done the best that you could for me. Okay, I'm also getting some cats in here too. But they're like, you have done what you can for me. And it's almost like they appreciate and love you. Like they understand. Like that's all they're saying is, I understand. I understand. And they feel your love and they love you and they wouldn't have it any other way, is the feeling with that. And it's healing from the loss of a pet, and it's healing from the emotional struggles. Even if your pet didn't pass, it's the healing of the emotional struggles that came with, you know, trying to take care of your pet and running around making sure that they got what they needed, or trying your best to make sure they got what they needed or what you felt they needed. Spirit says they got what they needed. Even if we could beat ourselves up for not providing the physical things for their health, because sometimes we find ourselves in situations where we're unable to provide that way for our pets, and especially that end of life care and how high the vet bills can be. Like, it's totally understandable. But Spirit, Archangel Raphael, like Archangel Raphael's here saying, like, you've given everything that you could, and that was all your pet needed. They knew what they were getting into when they signed up for this life, and they were just here for your love. They were here for your growth. They're understanding you on a deeper level. So keeping that in mind, we're going to wrap up this pet message here, and then we're going to move on. Anything else, Archangel Raphael, that we have for our beautiful collective group? Okay, I'm seeing dreams. For some of you, I see a car, an issue with a car. It's either you're wanting to obtain a car in some way, or you are like having car trouble and you want your car back. I'm seeing that, and it kind of falls into the same vein of like the things that you are longing for in terms of like your dreams, your hopes. Some of you have been longing for a car for a long time. That feels like something that you're actively manifesting and working towards, or at least getting a car fixed. There's something I see, like, for me, there's a symbol of, like, writing, because writing is one of my dreams that I've been doing. And for a lot of you, I feel like it's a dream that whatever this is, it's like a symbol. So for some of you, it could be writing. But they're quite literally just showing me someone with like a hand and a pen writing on paper. So to me, it's a symbolic of a dream. So Archangel Raphael wants to tune into your dreams. This feels like you're getting messages. Some of you are getting messages in your dream world. So keeping a dream journal and writing down your dreams as soon as you wake up, even if you don't exactly remember what happened, even writing down how you felt when you woke up, you will remember more the next day. That's how dream remembrance works. You have to like practice. Because like your angels are sending you messages through your dreams. Your guides are very heavy in your dreams. Wow, they're like right there. They're like we've been sending messages, and we can operate without knowing our dreams too much. But I think you would find it really cool to tune in. Some of you might need the active, like looking at it and recognizing the symbolism, or maybe if your dreams are very literal, you could have just full-blown conversations with your guides in your dreams. Spirit's asking you to pay attention to that. So working on that. Archangel Raphael wants to tune into your dreams and kind of like repairing those energies in your body where people have told you that you can't achieve them, or even if people haven't told you, maybe you've seen everybody else achieve these things that you've wanted for yourself, and you think, well, why can't that happen for me? And so then we draw the conclusion that there's something that we're doing wrong, that there's something wrong with me, that I won't be able to attain this because I don't have their kind of life, or I was dealt different cards, I was dealt a different hand. And I see someone actually with a bruised hand, or like a really red, calloused hand. Like it's like it's damaged, but it's almost damaged from maybe, I don't know, there's a feeling of trying too hard and feeling like it's not enough, but it's because you've burnt out. Like you went full onto the oven and you've touched it, and then you're like, ow, I'm never doing that again. It's almost like somebody who, it almost reminds me of somebody who writes a story. They write this extremely long novel. They spend a whole year or two writing this novel. No, 5, sorry. They're telling me like 4 to 5 years of writing this novel. They submit it to a publisher, and then they come back with a rejection, with all of these red marks all over it. First of all, if anybody gives your work any attention, let me just say to the writers out there, if anybody gives your works any attention, then they see something. Even if they completely rip it to shreds, the fact that they even took the time of day to look at it is a sign that you're on the right track, that somebody felt that it was worthwhile to actually read and expend the energy to give you feedback. That alone is like, oh, hey, they didn't throw it in the trash. Some of you, for your manuscript, might have been thrown in the trash. Like for some of you, you dove headfirst into a dream, and then your hand got burnt, and you were like, oh my gosh, well, I'm never doing that again. What's wrong with me? But Archangel Raphael is almost kind of working on those wounds, because some of that feels fresh. It feels like a fresh wound. And I see other angels around you too. I see maybe 2 or 3. I see like maybe 3 of them off in the background. You have a lot of spiritual support around you at this time. Trying to work through that, because you need to believe in yourself. You need to believe in those dreams. Actively healing your hand. Actively healing those wounds. I think that might be, for some of you it is a book. I'm seeing a lot of book imagery. For some of you it's writing. So feeling like you haven't, I don't know, I'm hearing also in the background, I haven't had a chance to write. So some of you might actually need to be getting started, but because of those wounds, you haven't been starting. And I'm hearing, give it time, give yourself time. You will need to take the leap of faith eventually, but dealing with your current circumstances and working through your loss will come first. All right, is there anything else, Archangel Raphael, that we would like to channel? Okay, I see golden light, so I see the message sort of ending. I see him Archangels are always around. You can always call out to them. But I see him kind of like leaving the message a little bit. Because he's heading back towards a golden light. So thank him. Thank you, Archangel Raphael, for being here with us. Thank you for giving us guidance. Thank you, spirit guides and angels, for helping me channel this message. And then come back to yourself. Take a few deep breaths. Usually when I channel, I'm starting to do this thing where I'm like patting all over my body now to help clear it a little bit, or just help shake things up so that I'm not stuck in it. It is a beautiful energy. I love connecting with angels though. But just so like the collective doesn't stick. It doesn't stay. That being said though, that was your reading channel from Archangel Raphael. So thank you so much for tuning in, my loves. I hope this helped you in some way. If this resonated, go ahead, like and subscribe and all of the things. My website will be launching very, very soon. I am taking on a lot of events and pop-ups in my city. So if you're in the city of Pittsburgh, definitely take a look out for that. I will have a newsletter on my website you can join. That way you can keep up to date with where I'm at, what I'm doing. I'll also have special promotions on that newsletter as well. And I will post on the channel when that does launch here within the next few days. But that being said, lots of fun things to look forward to. We have the full moon coming up here, Milo. I'm so excited, Milo. We have the full moon coming up, so we will have zodiac signs coming out then. Look forward to the Archangel Orion and Archangel Azrael messages. I love you, I love you, I love you, and I will see you next time. Bye.